timeout. Decide not to use it. Curry, way downtown. Bang! Bang! Oh, what a shot from Curry!
He's in! Patriots win the Super Bowl! Brady has his fifth! 13! 13! Can you believe it?
Hey guys, welcome back to the Locker Room Podcast. We're finally back. Thanks for tuning in on Spotify or YouTube. I need to start thinking about that. I'm your host, Oliver, as always, joined by the big fella, Lachie.
How are you, mate? Good to be back.
Yeah, it is. It's been a while. We're meant to be joined by the mystery man, but he's probably a bit busy right now. I don't know what he's doing, but he might stop by. I've sent him through the link to...
Might stop by.
Yes. No pun intended. He, inside joke.
Yep, correct.
But we're going to touch on the Super Bowl first. We're going to go through Super Bowl and NBA. But first, I was at work, so I got to listen to it a bit. But what a fucking game! That was unreal. And to be honest, I'm not a big fan of Jalen Hurts. I hated the Eagles anyway, and I've never been a fan of Jalen Hurts. But he definitely earned my respect yesterday with how he played.
Along with a lot of people, I think.
Your overall thoughts and summary on the game in general?
Unreal. First half, I forget the stat, but I think out of the possible minutes in the first half, the Chiefs, I forget what it is, would have had like maybe 4 or 5 minutes of having the ball.
Yeah.
Like Philly were absolutely dominating in every facet of the game. They didn't look like the Chiefs didn't look like getting anywhere near them, to be honest. I think they both teams came out and scored on their first drive, which is sort of like the Chiefs always do that. They scored in their first drive, first quarter, and out of half. That's what they're known for. But yeah, the first half, honestly, I was thinking, geez, Philly by how much? That's what it was feeling like. They just didn't look like the Chiefs had an answer for anything. And then obviously Pat getting hurt, and he looked very, very, very sore. Like ran pretty much straight off the ground. Was really, really sore. And they showed a slow motion replay, and it looked nasty. But yeah, came out in the second half and obviously scored that touchdown pretty much straight away. You're thinking, radio, you can just never write them off. Yeah. Like I was listening to Pat McAfee today, and everyone wrote them off at the start of the year. Well, didn't write them off, but they're like talking about the Raiders picking up all these players, like getting Devontae Adams, all these guns, the Chargers. Even we did it. Like we did it at the start of the year. We pretty much didn't back them for anything.
Losing
Tyreek Hill, but picking up Juju Pochettino. What's his name? Not Pochettino. That's the bloody manager.
Valdez, no.
Nah. What's his name? Hang on, I'll get it here.
Pacheco.
Pacheco. That's the one. He basically won his second half. He was the one, literally, like you were about to say, that he pretty much won the game, nearly off his own, from his own legs. Like he was just, Pat was saying, like he runs through people, he runs hard back to the huddle, he runs hard all the way through the end zone. Like he's just an absolute animal. Like no joke. Watching him run the ball is just like, shit, they got to stop this. And the whole time leading up into the game, everyone was like, they're not going to be able to run the ball because Philly's defense is just so good. They're not going to be able to run the ball. And they came out in the second half and they fucking run that thing. Like Pat didn't even, I think, did Pat Mahomes have, he didn't even have 200 yards. Yeah. 182.
Like 180,
Yeah, and literally. Whereas on the other side, it was pretty much, Jesus, how much can Jalen Hurts do? Like 3 for 300, ran the ball, like did everything he possibly could, and it was a good game. It was probably one of the best Super Bowls I've seen in a while.
Yeah, it was like, I think just like two juggernauts going at it. Really, like everyone thought that Philly's defense would be able to get to the quarterback, and obviously the grass has had a massive. Everyone's going off about it. Basically, being an ice
you
rink.
Wouldn't have really seen it?
I watched bits of it and I could see people sliding and like just dirt flinging up.
It was so bad. And they were talking about it too on Pat McAfee's podcast and on his show that they've been growing that for
2 years,
ages, 2 years or something. And they spent 800 grand on all this. Yeah, and all this shit and saying it should be like perfect, and it was far from that. Like, I forget which quarter it was, whether it was quarter time or after the half, they showed vision of trolleys of cleats coming out, like trolleys of boots coming out, new boots with like screw-in studs.
Yeah.
And to think of that, like that's something that we would do on a country football field.
Yeah. No, we wouldn't even probably do that on a country football field.
Nah,
you would just
literally
accept it. But
like, it's just insane to think that the NFL with that amount of money, can't. And they were all saying, like, why did they do that? Like, Arizona's stadium is really, really good. Why did they need to do that?
Yeah,
like, was it just to make the grass look green so it's good on TV, or what?
Support the locals. I don't know if it's the internet connection, but it might be the audio or not. But you're a little bit fuzzy, but
great.
While you're going through that, I just think, like, I was listening to it, and it sounded like the Eagles were just all over them. They obviously Miles Sanders didn't have a great game, but he didn't have to. Well, he didn't have to for most of the game because Jalen Hurts was just doing everything, and he was like surprising me a lot because obviously I don't watch much of them until playoffs. But no, I think it got to the halftime, and I'm like, they're up by 10. Mahomes is looking pretty sore, and like their run game at that stage, it was okay, but it hadn't been.
And Kelsey hadn't. I think he only had like 3 catches. Like, obviously, he caught that touchdown, and one of his other catches was like down low. Like, if that's me, like for him to be able to do that, being that tall, like, respect to a big guy, like that is fucking hard to do. Like,
he was down catches for 60.
Oh man, it was just insane.
It was just the big one.
So he hadn't really had a big half, but he'd had a couple of in the grand scheme of things, they were pretty big plays. But really they hadn't gone to him a lot. So they had to rely on something else, and they relied on the run game. And what do you know, they bloody turned it around with that.
And what I found interesting, like coming out of the half, like you can look at Jalen Hurts fumbling it as well. There was a lot of key moments. That was a pretty bad one. Yeah. And you got to think there was also that moment when I think it was Sanders caught the ball, and then he got hit as he was catching it, and then the same player, I think it was Bolton, returned it for a touchdown, but they obviously didn't call it a catch. Yeah, and arguably he could have been the Super Bowl MVP because he had an unreal game. Like, he was just all over it. But obviously the quarterback just generally gets it because it's the quarterback. Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, Pat didn't have that great a game.
Yeah, I thought someone else probably.
He made some big plays, but didn't really. Yeah. For a Patrick Mahomes game, I wasn't really the greatest, but
and then they come out of halftime, and I think they had 4 possessions. It was touchdown, game-winning field goal, and Andy Reid, some of the calls that he was doing. Like, just, I don't know how they had 2 touchdowns in the last quarter. I think it was that were just wide open, and they were similar plays. It was baffling, but you got to look at. There's a couple of interesting plays now we'll quickly discuss. There was one AJ Brown. His catch that got called back, and then they decided it wasn't a catch. I thought it was a catch. Did you have any thoughts on that one?
Yeah, look, I thought it was, but like initially I thought, that is. And it was. I was obviously happy at the start when that first touchdown the Eagles went for didn't count because I didn't have that in my multi. And then obviously Jalen went in and scored. So that was one of the first 6. Like, I was off to a good start with my multis, and then fell to shit after that. But there was a couple of plays, and obviously that hold call at the end of the game.
That's what I was going to get to that. Like, it is there by the letter of the law. It's there, but you don't call something like that when there's been penalties missed throughout the game.
Correct.
Don't call
plays
that.
Like that.
It's like last year. I still think last year's call against Logan Wilson for the Bengals was worse because that was 3rd and 12, the game was,
Yeah.
they would have had an easy chance to go down the other end and win it, let alone draw it. But I think you don't need to call that there.
Nah, I agree.
There were so many other like calls that didn't go. They didn't go the Eagles' way, but then obviously the Aussie punter, what he did,
that didn't
absolutely
help.
shanking the punt. Of course, the Aussie has to ruin it for us.
They and they were all set up. They were all running to the left as well, and he shanked it out to the right, and it's just like fuck. Yeah, they're lucky they didn't return it for a touchdown. To be honest.
Well,
very,
they
very
basically did. Got to what?
Pretty much did.
But
pretty much did. Yeah.
And one thing I did take out of it, like I haven't watched them, but they kept saying on the broadcast like how successful they are with the QB sneak, and they're like 33 of 36. Oh, Sharpy!
Hey, yeah, great man.
We'll introduce him in a sec because we're just about to finish this, but. Yeah, I think they succeeded on all of their QB sneaks, which is kind of unreal when you think that when you know the other team's trying to stop it. But
it helps when Jalen Hurts absolutely beats the squat rack.
Yeah, but obviously not
He's
doing
a big boy.
Not doing too much on his arms, judging off that last play, off that last.
That last one that was shocking.
But he did look like he slipped a bit. So there you go. There's the grass again. But a great Super Bowl ruined by a right call by the letter of the law, but you just don't want it to be called.
Look, I still think jury's out on that, especially when they consistently didn't call that all throughout the game. Like, there were plays where, like, there were holds that were probably more or less than that anyway. Like, just let it go.
Yeah,
just let it go. But anyway, overall, it was a really, really good game. Like, I loved it. I'm just glad it was as close as it was because, like I said, in the first half, I thought it was Philly by how much, and I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't give the Chiefs much of a chance, and they made a game of it. Now all of a sudden, Pat Mahomes is on a pretty crazy trajectory to do some really, really, really good things. To be honest, so
hopefully not better than Brady.
No, well, the way he's going,
I don't know if he get to 7.
You never know.
But in saying that,
2 out of 3.
He's 2 for 3.
But in 5 years, that's not bad.
You got to look at it though. You got to look at Hurts coming through. Joe Burr. But no, it's only 210 more days now until the next season. So, which is kind of sad.
Now we got baseball season. Get in.
And
Let's
Sharpie
go.
Chirps in before
Cricket
I introduce
season.
him.
Let's go.
Cricket season. All right, well, that's it for the Super Bowl. We're joined by our mystery man. Hello, Sharpie. It's been a while.
Yes, it's been way too long. Sorry about that.
You sound excited to be back.
No, I'm always excited.
In.
I always love the sound of my own voice. So, of course, this is my time to shine.
And the Knicks are actually going half decent now. So
winning it all. No, winning it all.
We might touch on that.
Did you just have another win today?
Yeah, he beat the Nets. Ben Simmons has finally lost to the Knicks.
Oh, yeah, true. Oh, yeah, I forgot that record was still going.
Did you click record on this?
Yeah, it's recording. I made sure.
Yeah, a little bit late, but we got there.
All right, we'll move on to the NBA. We'll start with the biggest trade that obviously happened. It was Mike Muscala going to the Celtics.
Yeah.
The
Moose.
The big Moose.
I'm laughing at my own jokes.
Big blow up from OKC there. OKC just blowing up.
Yeah.
PB7
We'll move on to the proper big trade now.
On the rebuild already. On your rebuild from a rebuild.
Suns trade Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, and about 5 first-round picks to the Nets for Kevin Durant and TJ Warren. Now, Sharpie, as you're returning, I'll let you go first on this, and then you follow up, Lachie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, like what do you want me to say? Like
what do you?
My reaction to it.
I was just saying what you think about the trade. I was setting teeing it up.
Jeez, good host. Just left us there like
I'm a bit rusty.
What are we doing?
Leave it to Sharpie.
To carry the podcast. And
I'm
he
a
said,
bit
"Always
rusty,
Again.
so give me a
Back
break.
for back for 5
So what
minutes.
are we
and
talking
carrying.
about? The Phoenix trade.
The Phoenix trade. I'll let Sharpie
Yeah.
go first.
Well, TJ Warren goes back home, back to where it all started for him in Phoenix. Durant obviously joins a very, very good Phoenix team. Good, not great, but now great,
Ooh.
spectacular now.
Yep.
Phoenix gave a lot up for a player like Kevin Durant, obviously. Getting rid of Mikal Bridges was very interesting. I saw that the Grizzlies
Very
offered
interesting.
4 first-round picks for him.
Oh.
There was a
Jesus.
mystery team for a couple of days on who offered the picks, and then turned out it was the Grizzlies, which that would have been very nice. But fuck the Grizzlies.
Knickerbockers.
They don't deserve shit. I saw a funny thing. It's all about. I can't remember who tweeted. No, CJ McCollum tweeted. He was saying this is because
yeah.
Jar said they were good in the West.
Yeah. He actually commented today, and he's like, "What did he say?" He said that he doesn't. He's standing by what he said, or something like that, and how he doesn't regret saying what he said. And we're like, "Oh yeah, you might regret that, just a little bit,
I'm
He's
sure
trying
you'll
to
regret
double
that
down.
when you watch.
because
the
you haven't
finals.
got a damn chance now, my friend."
No.
Well, that's the thing. Like the Suns weren't contenders. What I find a bigger surprise is that they didn't have to get rid of Ayton or Chris Paul to get Durant.
Yeah.
Now,
correct.
I think Ayton still probably wants out season's end, whether they win a championship or whether they don't. But I think with their team, and like I saw Charles Barkley say that they're not as deep now that they haven't got these people. It's like they lost Mikal Bridges, they got Kevin Durant. If you really want that, that's one starter for one starter, and then you're losing Cam Johnson off the bench, and you're getting TJ Warren, and they've got other free agents now. So I think they're and they've obviously
Also, there was. Sorry to interrupt. Jay Crowder obviously went to the Bucks.
Oh yeah,
as well in that trade. I don't think he even played a game this season at all.
No, he didn't. He cracked the shits.
Well, I think for a good reason he cracked them about with the stuff that happened with the owner and everything. But won't get into that.
You're not big enough to be able
to hold yourself. But I mean, to be willing to do that though, that shows a lot of character. But
yeah, that's But in saying that, Lachie, do you think they should be favourites, and do you think they're actually real contenders? Because obviously they've still got to put it together before the end of the season.
Honestly, I honestly think they've got a big 4.
Yeah, arguably.
Really?
Chris Paul's on a bit of a decline this year.
Yeah, correct. But fuck, imagine him with all the weapons he's got now to be able to facilitate too. Like, he doesn't need to do anything. Just so thanks very much. Do
you have him as favourite in the West?
Yeah, God, yeah. Absolutely.
Sharpie?
Absolutely, I do.
Not sure.
I still have the Nuggets when fully healthy because Gordon's playing some unreal, and they've got like Bruce Brown, and they've just got a deep squad.
And Jamal Murray's coming back and playing really well too.
Did you see what Bones Highland was saying? After he got traded, he seems just like a little shit.
Yeah.
He was saying that he came over to the Clippers, and the Clippers have got 2 phenomenal star players in George and Leonard, whereas back at Denver, there's only one, Jokic, and apparently he's just had like a massive falling out with Murray, and so they've had massive shots at each other because Murray came out earlier or tweeted earlier this year that you got to play to earn your money. Oh,
no, sorry, I just had to sneeze. Just had to sneeze. You want to be able to hear that in the background.
But yeah, I think that's just a bit shit move by Bones. But no, I think Denver's still my favourites, and then even Pelicans depending on Zion. But
what about Dallas?
Dallas played today, and like
they're not good enough defensively still.
Yeah, they're bringing in LaMarcus Aldridge possibly.
But they've got 2 of the best closers. Yeah, I did see that he's working out with them today or tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow I think it is. But
Marcus Aldridge.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
But I don't think that's going to fill any hole. Cause
look at us, Ollie. Who's carrying the podcast? Say what?
Sorry, I work.
You got Christian Wood, who's a good scorer off the bench. He's just got no defensive big men. And that's why Rudy Gobert had like
nothing.
25 today against him. And
It's
that's
just like, oh yeah, nice. Let's bring in LaMarcus Aldridge, best defending big man.
I thought they would have brought in like someone like Serge Ibaka or something. He's a free agent.
Someone
so.
to just fucking sit in that paint and at least be there.
A couple other trades. OKC got rid of Baisley, thank God.
Yeah,
He'll be nice for the
Irrelevant
Suns.
irrelevant
Thanks.
team.
All right.
Also, another one, Wiseman going to the Pistons.
That's
interesting.
another.
And Sadiq Bey going to Atlanta.
Finally going through.
And Dwight Howard participating in the 3-point contest over in Thailand. Wherever the fuck he's playing.
Taiwan.
Taiwan, I was close.
Okay, we'll go back to this. The Bones Highland trade also included. Oh wait, no, that's the wrong trade. No. Okay, I've gone a trade ahead.
So
talking about
the Nuggets got Thomas Bryant. Lakers got Mo Bamba, Davon Reed in the second round.
Yeah.
Clippers got
How about
Bones
Thomas
Highland.
Bryant going out after the best play in history?
After just photo
Calling for
bombing
the
it.
ball when LeBron James has gone out for
To
a
be
shot
fair,
to beat the record.
fundamentals,
He was in a good
had the
spot
seal.
on
He had the
mismatch.
seal.
Correct.
LeBron should have
And-
passed it.
Pat Bev went to the Magic as well in that trade. Then he got waived, I think, this morning,
And now he's going to go to the Warriors,
knows.
maybe.
Yeah.
He'll go to a contender because that's what him and Jay Crowder just do with their careers.
Yeah, correct. Get carried.
But the trade I was looking for was the Westbrook trade to Utah with a 3-team trade that included Scarno Anderson, obviously, and the Jazz got a pick from the Lakers, a first rounder, and Mike Conley to the Timberwolves, which was interesting. And Lakers got D'Angelo Russell, Malik Beasley, and Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's really good.
Yeah, I like them getting Vanderbilt.
D'Lo obviously returning to the Lakers. But does this move anyone's opinion on the Lakers? Does anyone think they can still make the playoffs, let alone the play-in?
Not really.
I mean,
Not really,
you still
to be
got
honest. Lillard still came out and cooked them today.
Yeah. I mean, you still got a hot pile of garbage there, regardless.
AD doesn't look interested. He's come out and said that it was to do with them losing to OKC, that he was frustrated when LeBron hit that shot. But even I've seen a couple of highlights today, he doesn't even look like he gives a fuck.
I was about to say, because before they came out and said anything, I'm like, well, one, they're losing to OKC, who's just above them in the West, who they should be beating. And
correct.
Anthony Davis, who a few years ago, the team was, LeBron's team for a year, but then they're going to build around AD and let him be the guy. But I said to someone the other day, I'm like, if LeBron's on your team, you're never going to be the guy. LeBron's too good of a player to be second fiddle. And as much as you want him to be second fiddle, he's not going to be. Like AD
still had a really good game today, though.
Yeah, he didn't get the ball against OKC, though. And that's why, he should be getting the ball every possession because we have Jalen Williams defending him. And he did have a good game, but I think it's justified. I don't see Anthony Davis, honestly, don't see him staying there in the next 2 years. I think he'll be gone within the next 2 years. And I think he had a good relationship with Westbrook.
Would AD stay and become that man?
Well, the Lakers have no draft picks to get Bronny, so I don't think he'll be there.
Well, that's the other thing. LeBron will leave, whether the Lakers trade AD to get draft picks or trade LeBron.
Yeah, but the thing is, the Lakers have got to think long term too. They're not just going to get Bronny for LeBron to be able to play with him for a season or two.
That's why they were holding on to those first rounders for those first round draft picks. I think one of them was protected as well. I think it's 1 to 4. I think protected. But I think getting D'Lo back, sort of, it's like, okay, here's here's another chance you have at, leading this team to the future. I know you're not young anymore. You're roughly you're in your prime, sort of 26 years old.
Correct.
So you've still got a lot of time to move this team forward.
Yeah.
but you haven't really got many pieces with you. So with all those big contracts, like they got off, like Westbrook. There was another one I can't remember, but they're now gonna have room in free agency to sort of get to get better role players. I mean, there we go. There we got there eventually.
And they'll probably end up turning them over for draft picks in the future anyway.
Yeah.
Like
even if you could just get some seconds in there, like
they're dry right now in draft picks, obviously, and whether one of them is going to get traded, and I think if LeBron gets traded, it's going to be because LeBron wants to leave, and at that stage, LeBron will probably want to go to any team that's got a lot of draft picks whenever Bronny's going to be drafted.
That could be the Knicks.
And I hope it's not the Thunder. But we probably do have a lot of draft picks. But I don't see the Lakers competing. Did you comment on it, Sharpie? I know Lachie did, but
I don't see them being much better than they are currently, but
no.
Yeah.
And we'll go on to another big trade because we did mention the Mavs before. Kyrie and Markieff Morris to the Mavs for Dinwiddie, Finney Smith, a first-round pick in 2029 and 2 future seconds. Now, I like Dinwiddie and I liked Finney Smith, but it's for Kyrie. But there's a big but, and it's whether Kyrie re-signs at the end of this season. And I don't know. I want your thoughts on this, both your thoughts. I'll go to you, Sharp, because you're probably more aware of the whole contract situation.
Yeah, I was going to say I would not have a clue.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, you can't trust Kyrie, no matter what he says. Any team he's been at, he said that he loves the place, he wants to stay, and then he's gone. So you can just say it's a rental at the moment. You don't know what's going to happen.
True.
So he could resign. He could not resign. He could go to the NBL next season. We do not know. But he's a very interesting man, Kyrie, with what he wants. He gets what he wants a lot.
He's a very good player to watch. But
he's a good player to watch, but off the court, like there's
too many.
There's just a big question mark.
Yeah.
And like I'm not talking about his views on anything. I'm just talking about his basketball.
It's like
stance.
Ben Simmons when he was just sitting out. Like I guess it's a bit different because you knew why he was sitting out, but you don't want to deal with all that shit that it comes with getting that player.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like Cuban as a businessman as well. He'll know what to do with it.
The only worry is, like you said just before, the Lakers have a bit more cap space now. Whether if Kyrie does go into free agency and they try and pick him up, because Kyrie did want to go to LA initially, then you look at that trade for Dallas and you're like, fuck, you kind of got fleeced.
You could end up seeing a sign and trade with D'Lo for Kyrie in the off season, something like that.
The Mavs need a good big, not another guard next to Doncic. They need like an Ayton, I think was rumored at some stage to go. But I think there's just too many other factors going into it. One last thing I wanted to touch on, and it's another Aussie. It's not a big trade, but it's Matisse Thybulle did go to the Blazers.
Portland. He played well today.
And I was about to say, he started today and had 14 points. I think he shot 4 threes and had 3 blocks and 2 steals. And I tweeted out, I'm like, this is what happens when you actually play him like good minutes. I guess, Lachie, do you think that's going to continue? Obviously, it's Sam's team. He's not here to talk about it. But Blazers kind of missing a really good defender at that position. Like, they got Jeremy Grant, but I think with an elite defender and obviously a backcourt of Simons and Lillard, they're going to be fine offensively.
Very, very, very good. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'd agree. I think I've said it a couple of times. Like every team needs that really, really, really good defender.
Just an anchor.
It'd just be better if he had that 3-point shot behind him as well, because then he could all of a sudden be like that Shane Battier for Miami back in the day, and
Oh,
those sorts of players that can defend really, really well, but still have that threat on offense, so you can keep them on the court that little bit longer. Because that's what he doesn't have. Like, you bring him on in game situations where you've got to defend like a late game situation and that sort of thing, but you'll bring him on for a late game situation where you got to score.
Yeah. And that's what happened with Andre Roberson back in OKC when
correct.
Well, he's back there now. I think we're picking him up again. So
And I think that's what's happening now.
You love those lockdowns that can't do anything
exactly
else.
Right. Exactly right.
And I think that's what's happening now with the Knicks with Josh Hart.
Yeah.
You've now got an anchor type player in your team, a real junkyard dog, as Slug used to call himself, Mr. Fourth Quarter himself.
Yeah, I think it's a good trade for Portland. As much as I hate Portland, I still don't think it's, honestly, for me, the West is just the Suns, the Nuggets, and maybe the Mavs, depending on what happens there.
Yeah,
and I guess you can never count out the Warriors as bad as they're going.
True.
But then I think it's just like the rest. Like, Pelicans might stand a little bit of a chance. I think the Grizzlies are going to fall out completely. Like,
I really hope so.
They're
all I really hope so.
And they're just going to get absolutely smacked up in the playoffs.
And I'm here for it.
And
so am I.
Front row seat for that.
Well, you've got front row seats.
The only other team
now
that I would love that to happen to, even though it's already happening, is Minnesota, because everybody knows how much I hate that fucking team.
Just hate that city.
City.
Never going to go
fucking
there.
City. Oh. Two biggest letdowns of
maybe that would be
teams.
a forfeit. You have to buy a Minnesota jersey if we ever have to do a forfeit. A Rudy Gobert one.
A Rudy Gobert one too, yep.
Or who's the quarterback there? Kirk Cousins.
I saw a thing on Twitter. Someone's sister bought their brother a Mikal Bridges Phoenix jersey in November, and it didn't get there till after Christmas.
Oh no! Yeah, that would be a bit of a stitch up. You want to return that straight away.
Yeah.
It didn't get there till after the trade went through.
Well, we'll see if you're still this happy next week, Sharpie, if the Knicks are winning or not. You've seemed pretty happy. We're not going to touch on it now because we're just about to finish up. But
Josh Hart.
Other than RJ Barrett playing absolute doggies the last 3 months, whole career.
I don't know why we didn't ship him off, seriously.
Well, you did say you wouldn't put him in a Donovan Mitchell trade, so...
Yep, well...
it's coming back to bite you. Just before we do head off, obviously All-Star Weekend this weekend, which is, when you think about it, Super Bowl then All-Star Weekend is kind of big week over there. But what event are you looking most forward to? Obviously, there's Rookie Showcase, Dunk Contest, All-Star Game.
Tyler Hero's confirmed in a 3-point contest.
So you'll be tuning
and Jericho Sims is in the dunk contest, so...
Yeah.
And SGA's in the All-Star Game.
Yeah, and Randall, and potentially Jalen Brunson.
Hey, we've only got one person each, okay? So you said Jericho Sims in the dunk contest. And
I'm excited for Jericho Sims in that. With his vertical, man. Who knows? He'll probably do a backflip dunk.
We thought that about Jalen Green. We thought that about Jalen Green last year, though. And look at what Jalen Green did. He was
6'9" and get his head above the rim, man.
Dwight Howard.
Look at Coronel.
Superman in the building.
Oh God.
With the big afro.
I just hope it's better than last year because that was doggies.
It wasn't Obi Toppin's fault either. That was Cole Anthony's fault and whoever else it was.
And Jalen Green.
Yeah, for sucking.
Yeah.
So I guess because everyone thought it would be better to move the 3-point contest to the last.
Obi Toppin should have been a 2-time dunk contest winner last year.
What are your favorite events quickly, Sharpie? What's yours to look forward to this weekend?
The Rookie Showcase.
Yeah, that's gonna be.
Or whatever that G League thing is. I forgot what it's called, but that.
Oh, where they draft the squads with like Joakim Noah.
What about the Rebounding Renegade show?
Wait, what?
You'd like that, wouldn't you, Sharpie?
Yeah, 100%, man. Just
am I missing something?
No, you just
I
don't
think-
even worry.
Yeah, I think I'm oblivious.
Yeah, you are. You are a bit. We're ball bros. We sit together, Sharpie.
Oh, come off it. Come off
Oh, fucking
Come off
hello.
it.
He's
it.
back. Fuck, he's very rusty after having a few weeks off this.
What's
Yeah.
yours, Lachie? What's your favorite event to look forward to?
Oh, gee. Usually it's a dunk contest, but since Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine haven't been in it, since that, it's just been shit. So I don't even know. And the All-Star game's just a fucking big. It's like the Pro Bowl. It's just like this big fucking fluffy duffy. Like, it's gonna be cool that they're picking the teams before the game. But what effect is that going to have? Nothing really. Like it's. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. I'd probably say the 3-point contest, because at least you're going to get some good shooters, and like what's going to happen. So I'd probably say that. But rookie showcase is always good, because you get to see that talent coming through, and having a bit of fun, but also going at each other as well. Because you often get a lot of confidence coming out of those games.
Yeah,
which is really quite interesting. It sort of takes them to that next level in the second half of the year and in the next season. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see who's going to win the MVP for that.
Yeah. And I was going to say just the draft, just to be a smart ass. But yeah, I think it'll be the 3-point contest. But it'll be interesting to see who the last pick of the All-Star draft is, and whether they take any offense to it or not. Sharpie, did you actually want to
take
share
offense
your screen?
to it?
Yeah, just for a sec.
Please, I was the one drafting.
It's not
Here
going
we
to be
go.
it's not going to be
This
Football
is gonna
Manager
be
either.
interesting.
I am the danger.
This is going to be
Is that a Breaking Bad
interesting.
reference?
What
It's going to be
is
Football
happening here?
Oh my god! Is that your custom made meme?
No, it's definitely off Twitter, but it's just funny.
Oh, Jesus.
I tried making it my background, but it wouldn't let me change it, so I was just hard to share it.
What a way to end it.
Had he actually not lost to the Knicks?
No, he's 15-1 now. Every time we've beaten them and he's been there, he just hasn't played at all.
Wow.
He's just the difference.
Not anymore.
All right. Thanks for joining us, Lachie and Sharpie.
Not a problem at all, mate. Good to be back.
Yeah,
Great to be back.
We've got our setup coming as well. I forgot to mention that at the start of the video. So
yeah, we do,
on the way.
Sharpie. You better look out. It's on the way.
It's going to look fancy, hopefully.
It's going to look pretty fucking nice.
I have no idea what we're talking about, but okay.
We'll see you next week.
We will tell you. We will fill you in.
Bye.
Pause.